Welcome to another Power Plant podcast. This one's going to be about milk. Anything to do with milk. Anything I can think of in the next 15 minutes, I guess. So we got our little party tonight for our little school, and I'm sure there'll probably be some dairy in some of the foods, not mine. Going to Jamie's Italian. Jamie Oliver's trying to promote veganism, sort of, through some people. Tim Sheaf, who's a free runner. One of the best in the world. He's a completely vegan person, pretty much. And yeah, so we're going to Jamie Oliver's restaurant in Hong Kong with a big bunch of people who eat meat. This one's about milk. So, why do you drink milk? Okay, well, the first thing is to get these out of the way. You know, humans are the only species that drink the milk of another species, and humans are the only species that drink milk into adulthood. So humans are the only species to do lots of things, but these things are a bit weird, and they're certainly not healthy, as most research shows. Why do people put milk in their coffee? Is it to make it creamier or colder or a different color? If it's to make it creamier, then why not just put in some sort of like powder or something? Like if you want to make it creamier, you can put in like a thicker thing that makes it creamier. You don't really just put in milk. I think milk's just sort of like a default. Oh, I don't know, what are we going to do with it? We'll just put it in. We'll just chuck it in this. We'll just put milk in. Like custard, you could make custard from. Let's just say you could use water. It wouldn't be the same as using like coconut water or something that has a flavour to it. A juice or a plant-based milk. But if you just put water in with the custard powder, you'd get the same sort of thickness and creaminess. But again, people use milk. If you put milk into your coffee, what I would suggest is that you just put in a plant-based milk if you want that kind of dealio. Almond, hemp, soy, pea, oat, rice, coconut, macadamia. You've got so many options now. So anyone who's scared of soy for, I don't know, illegitimate reasons, then they can just use another nut or plant-based milk. And cereal, people put milk in their cereal. When I used to have cereal, I haven't had it since I've been here. It's been a long time. I just had sort of half, usually rice milk or oat milk, and half water, because that's how I like it. But why do people put milk in their cereal? Why not just have the cereal dry, have the cereal with water? Is it because it's creamy? Have you ever just gone up and smelt milk? Like if someone is not vegan in your house and they have milk in the fridge, just go up and smell it. It stinks. It smells bad. It doesn't smell like something you want to put into your body. People who drink milk by themselves, I'm sure I did it at one stage, but I always used to have like chocolate powder with it, like some sort of Milo or Sustagen or something with the milk, and that's why I'd have the milk, but really it could have just been water or something else. The chocolate was what I was going for, and the milk was just sort of the default thing. Let's just fill it up with milk. It's like a filler. And milk is just liquid meat. That's all it is. Milk is just liquid meat. It comes from the udder or the nipple or wherever gland of whatever mammal you choose to get it from. Most people get it from cows, what happens is a cow is usually forcibly impregnated. They call it AI, for artificial insemination. And then when it gives birth, if it gives birth to a girl cow, then that will be brought up to be another cow in the dairy industry. If it's gives birth to a boy cow, then, as opposed to a cowboy, if it gives birth to a male calf, then that calf will most likely go into the veal industry, kept in a crate for 3 to 4 months and then being sold off for veal. And so if you're buying milk, you're supporting those industries. And if you're a vegetarian, you can't be buying milk because you're supporting those industries, if you've thought about it. And then even after when the cow has spent its, 5 or 6 years or however long they do giving milk, when it stops giving milk, after they've been, shocked into a state of like eternal pregnancy, trying to give milk to humans, for humans to steal, then after that they get killed anyway, mostly. Some farms don't, some farms do. It doesn't really matter. You torture the cow, you rape the cow. That's all it is. It's rape. It's not anything else. When you artificially inseminate someone without their permission, or when you inseminate someone without their permission. I don't think cows like having things jammed up them. Have you ever seen a picture of someone's elbow, they're in elbow deep or further shoulder deep into a cow, trying to find out if it's pregnant or if something's wrong with them? It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, looking after cows is fine, but we breed so many cows now that there's just an unnecessary biomass on this earth. I think it's something like 90% of the biomass on Earth is humans, or what humans consider their property, livestock, cattle, animals that are bred for human consumption. And people will be like, well, if we didn't eat beef, or if we didn't have dairy or something, or we didn't eat the cows, then they'd overpopulate us. We're breeding millions and millions a year. I think maybe even billions a year. I don't know. But you don't have to breed them. You don't have to breed them. Just don't touch things. I hate it when people just touch, everyone has an impact, but a lot of people have way too much of an impact. And look, factory farming is a thing in efficiency, but it's still not ethical no matter how efficient you make it, and it's still worse for the environment than almost all. Even compare it to palm oil. How do you compare them? But they're both not really ethical in terms of unethical palm oil production, where they're cutting down habitats of in Indonesia or Malaysia of chimpanzees and other animals. Compare that to beef, soybean production in the Amazon to feed the beef, and corn as well. They're both bad, so cut out both. You don't have to. When someone brings up the fact that there's glue that isn't vegan in your Tesla car that has vegan seats, but the glue isn't vegan, and then they're like, well, you shouldn't be. Don't be judging me because I'm eating meat. It's like, you're doing the best. You're doing the best you can. It's about doing better than what you can. It's about doing the best that you can to the furthest point, and so that it doesn't cause you to have difficulty. And it's not going to cause you difficulty to eat plants. That's the easiest thing. Perhaps it might cause you difficulty if you have to have a car for whatever reason, you're a tradie, and there's stearic acid in the tyres. Those are really waste product of the animal industry. If you're buying milk, all it is liquid meat. So think about that the next time you have a glass of the white, cold, usually, if it's warm, pus-filled, antibiotic-filled often, from another species of mammal. Milk. Is it vegan to drink breast milk from a human? Of course it is. If it's consenting, then that's how it is. It's still a bit weird to drink that into adulthood. Don't know why you'd want it, but there you go. And people get disgusted when, I think there was a video I saw posted on Facebook today. People were drinking milk. They're like, oh, what do you think about this milk? They had a big sip of it, and then, halfway through the sip, they were like, oh, it's dog's milk, actually. This particular brand of milk is called, I don't know, Canine Red or something like that. And the people spat it out mostly, or they pulled a horrible face. If they swallowed it afterwards, then perhaps they're less hypocritical than you are. If you drink milk and if you think dog's milk's disgusting, then that's quite hypocritical. Unless you think all milk is disgusting, besides that which is consenting and age appropriate usually. It's funny that the longer you breastfeed children, a lot of the time, the better the health outcomes are. And when people are put on milk to supplement kids, it can often bring about a lot of allergies. That's probably one of the leading cause of increase of allergies, is the increase of dairy consumption in kids and infants. And I'm not saying that you just feed them almond milk, because that's not nutritionally adequate, but you just have to, do some research for yourself. There are plant-based formulas when combined with other types of formulas and other foodstuffs to feed to your babies if you can't get adequate breast milk supply during the early years before people develop teeth and they can eat. There's ways to get around it. There are ethical ways to do most things which people do in an unethical manner. So for me, that's how it is. Milk, yuck. That goes into cheese. What's cheese? All it is just off milk that's been left out for too long with some bacteria added to it. And yeah, it might smell good when you melt it, or it might be addictive because a lot of the casomorphins that get changed or biotransformed when they enter your body to keep you eating it. They're in some forms of chocolates as well. That's why you like it so much. But cheese, no thank you. Milk, no thank you. Cream, people outwardly, they understand more that you shouldn't be having cream or clotted cream or double cream, or you only need to keep it to a minimum or whatever, and that moderation is fine. But if you're eating bad foods in moderate amounts, you're going to get moderate amounts of disadvantage and disease from it. It's really about doing the best you can. And there's no, it's all a mindset. If you consider a banana a treat and you're going to go treat yourself by having a banana, how healthy would that be? And, where all your food you eat is, healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables, and you consider that a treat, then you're treating yourself all the time. It's just a mindset about it and the way you perceive things. So, milk, give it up, give it a try. Giving it up a try. Consider that. You might see some benefits. Catch ya.